He then became deeply involved in the Surrealist movement. Now, this is a whole can of worms that I'm not going to open, but I will give you the main gist of it, is that it's going to be a deep theme in Artaud's life, with its core belief of despising the modern society, and, of course, living in a laudanum stupor for most of his life, and living in a waking unconscious state. It drew upon the latent mysticism that Artaud was already attempting to seek out and tap into, as the best way I can describe surrealism is with anti-memes and non-sequiturs and the types of images you see and you just laugh at it because it's so ridiculous, or like bone-hurting juice, like that style of stuff. That is the best way that I can put surrealism into the modern culture. Or like the image of the cowball. That's the image of the cowball is a really good example of surrealism. However, Artaud seemingly, even though he's been doing nothing but pursuing mysticism and trying to tap into magic, he tried to make surrealism more scientific. He also split due to the subtleties of surrealism. Artaud wanted to tap a lot more into the underlying madness rather than the non sequiturs and uniqueness that they tried to impress upon the movement. Artaud wanted to tap into the messiness of the human unconscious and the fraying threads that surround every person's life, where what surrealism really ended up being without Artaud was Cowball. I'm gonna use that image a lot. I really love Cowball. Anyway, it's a constant theme throughout his life that he wants to seek something organic, or he'll go to places or look for things that are before Western civilization. He really synced with the surrealists on hating modern society. He just couldn't stand all the politics that spurred up around the art movement. But after this split, he gave them the equivalent of, I'm gonna start my own surrealist troupe with blackjack and magic. I looked at the last video. It did way better than I expected it to ever do, and I hope and pray that I can keep this going. I would love to make entertainment for everyone. I love entertaining people. It's what I do. That's why I don't take my meds. Anyway, that is the life and times of Antoine Artaud. By far one of my favorite artists, but also by far one of the saddest people to have ever lived and walked on the earth. I just like to point back to that quote that he said while addicted to laudanum, talking about his addiction and how he basically just had to live in this culture of the void, accepting that he'd have nothing, accepting that he would be nothing. And to some degree, I have to have that. I can't know that I'm going to succeed, but I have hope that I'll succeed. Because just as Artaud was an actor to survive, I'm a scientist to survive. This is my true passion. That Fantasy deck video, when fully compiled, that will be my Le Sensi. But anyway.